So you want to start a production agency. Let's talk about how you can do that without spending a bunch of money up front. The first thing that you want to do is figure out what your service is offering and what parts of the business you don't want to handle or are not good at handling. For example, if you're not a great video editor, you might want to find an editor. If you're not good at outreach or sales, you might want to find somebody who's more eloquently spoken and figure out the places that you lack or the places that you don't want to put a lot of time and effort in. Outsource those parts of your business. And that's how you're going to build your team. Once you have your team assembled, the next thing you want to do is find a niche. Think about it. Every industry needs some production work. So what's it going to be? Hospitals, restaurants, gyms, real estate. Pick one and then own it. One of the best ways to go about finding a niche is picking something you have previous experience in. For example, your dad's a real estate agent, so you have experience there. Now you gotta pick a name. Think of something that sticks or something that sounds nice, and that's your brand. Honestly, I would have spent too much time on it. We ChatGPT'd our name. We just like went on ChatGPT and was like names for production agency, and like the 7th one, we were like, that sounds nice, and then that's been our brand. When you're first starting out, you probably don't have a lot of money to work with. So work with what you have. Start shooting with your phone. Edit on CapCut. It's about the story, not the stuff. Lighting probably has the biggest effect on the quality of your content. If you can nail that, there's virtually no difference between content from this and content from this. Now, that's not to say that you can't start out with cheaper options, like the dollar store lights that we did. We made a reel about it on our page. You can go check it out. But eventually, I would recommend investing in high quality, probably a little bit more expensive lighting. Now, the next thing you want to do is probably curate a portfolio of some of your best work so that you can set a standard when you're talking to prospective clients. That not only cements your credibility, but it also lets them know that you can do the thing that you're promising that you can do. But Urban, I don't have work to put on my portfolio. Well, there are ways around that, dude. One of the ways is just go to people and say you do work for free and add that to your portfolio, or do the work for yourself and add that to your portfolio. But as mentioned before, it's a different conversation. It's a bigger conversation, and we will make another video about that in the future. One of the best places to curate your portfolio is probably a website or an Instagram. We are trying to do both, so that is what I would recommend. Now, throughout all of this, you gotta make sure that you're smart with the cash that you have. Because like I said, we're trying to do this with the least amount of money upfront as possible. Choose bus over Uber. Try and make homemade rigs versus pricey gear. Save all of that money for when it really counts, especially in the beginning. Obviously, when you're making more and you're saving more, you can upgrade your gear and so on and so forth. But also, don't be afraid to put some of those costs on your clients. For example, we charge our client transportation costs. Whatever it costs for us to get from point A to point B and back, we put that on them. The next thing I'd say is keep your eyes open and be open to making new friends. I would call it making friends, not networking. We've got a few opportunities through people that we know, which have been great, which have been awesome. But the best way to go about it, especially when you don't know anyone, is just treat it like you're making friends online. DM people who are doing the same thing as you or at the same place as you or that inspire you, and have a conversation with them. More often than not, they will respond, and then you can just be friends. And eventually, an opportunity will present itself. Throughout all of this, you have to stay focused and keep at it. Just stay the course. It's tough to convince people that you've got what it takes, but keep pitching, then yes will come. We spoke to 5 different prospects before we even got our first warm lead, and we've spoken to over 100 since then before we have the ones that we have now. If you really believe in what you're doing and the quality of work that you can provide, just keep at it, success will come. Make your primary goal to provide value and do the thing. The more you do the thing, the better you are at the thing. And that's it. Stay tuned, keep pushing, believe in yourself, and don't forget to like and subscribe.